Good day, everyone. I'm Trital Ancasiple, and together with my group mates, John Lester Mones and Stephen Justin Games, we're going to discuss the case study analysis on sustainable development entitled Towards 2030 Evaluating the Progress of SDG Implementation in the Philippines. What is Sustainable Development Goals? So, Sustainable Development Goals, also known as Global Goals, are a set of 17 integrated and interrelated goals to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that humanity enjoys peace and prosperity by 2030. So, yung SDG po is a universal call to action adopted by the United Nations in 2015 para ma-address yung mga most pressing challenges na meron yung every country. So, yung each goal is nakafocus sa specific areas such as quality education, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, climate action, and sustainable cities. So also SDG are new universal set of goals, targets, and indicators that UN member states will be expected to use to frame country agendas and policies over the next 15 years. Leave no one behind. So this phrase was the guiding principle of world leaders of 193 countries in solving the most pressing problems of today. So this was also actually the official motto set by the United Nations for the Sustainable Development Goals. So ito po is in-emphasize nito yung commitment ng bawat country sa pagsugpo ng kahirapan na sana magkaroon ng pagkakapantay-pantay and ma-address yung injustice sa bawat sa pamamagitan ng pag-prioritize ng needs ng most marginalized and vulnerable population. Let's proceed naman sa background of the study. So, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015 provides a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and into the future. So, dito na-recognize nila na ending poverty and other deprivation must go hand in hand with strategies that improve health and education, reduce inequality, and spur economic growth. So, lahat ng yun is need daw na pagtuunan ng pansin, pati na rin yung climate change and yung pag-preserve ng oceans and forests. In June 1992, at the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, more than 178 countries adopted Agenda 21, which is a comprehensive plan of action para mag-build ng global partnership for sustainable development and para ma-improve yung human lives and ma-protect ang environment. Next, member states anonymously adopted the Millennium Declaration at the Millennium Summit in September 2000 in UN headquarters in New York. So the summit led to the elaboration of 8 Millennium Development Goals to reduce extreme poverty by 2015. So in 2000 to 2015, nagkaroon na ng Millennium Development Goals, which is yung SDG were built upon the foundation of the MDGs, which were adopted in 2000 by the United Nations to address poverty, hunger, education, gender equality, child mortality, maternal health, disease, environmental sustainability, and global partnerships. So, while yung MDG daw is nagkakaroon ng significant progress, kinikriticize din ito for being too narrow and hindi rin daw kasi nito na-address na maayos yung problems and ini-involve yung other countries equally. So in 2012 naman, nagkaroon ng Rio Plus 20 conference. So the concept of SDG emerged at the United Nations Conference of Sustainable Development in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So world leaders recognized the need for a more comprehensive framework that address global changes holistically. The conference called for the creation of a set of goals to balance economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental protection. So in the same year, 2012 to 2015, nagkaroon ng development and adoption of the SDGs. So over 3 years, the Open Working Group on Sustainable Development Goals with representatives from UN member states, civil society, and other stakeholders drafted the SDGs. The goals were designed to be universal, inclusive, and applicable to all countries. So in September 2015, at the UN Sustainable Development Summit in New York, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development was adopted, including the 17 SDGs and 169 targets. So in 2015 naman up to present, nagkaroon na ng implementation and monitoring. So after agreeing to the SDGs, the Philippines then immersed in a series of technical and multi-sectoral workshops that aim to review, discuss, and identify the relevant SDG indicators to be monitored. They have assigned the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA as the official repository of SDG indicators in the Philippines, which complies and maintains the SDG Watch and SDG database. They also decided which methodologies to use in estimating the progress in achieving the SDGs. So here's the Philippine progress to SDG. So kung makikita natin sa mga datas, uh, sa SDG index rank, the Philippines has ranked 92 out of 166 countries assessed or included in the Sustainable Development Goals Index. While the SDG index score naman, nag-score tayo ng 67.47 and the score can be interpreted as a percentage of SDG achievement. So kung nag-score ang isang country ng 100, it indicates that all SDGs have been achieved. So sa spillover score naman, it measures how a country's actions and policies impact other countries' ability to achieve the sustainable development goals. So yung score na 95.59 ng Philippines suggests that the country has a relatively low negative impact or a positive influence on other nations' progress toward the SDGs. So let's take a look naman sa dashboards in terms ng SDG. So pinapakita dito sa dashboards if ano yung status ng bawat goals, if it was achieved ba, there is a challenge remain, and etc. So as of now, we have only one achieved goal, which is yung SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. On the other hand naman, as we can see sa trends, there is yung mga arrow sa mga gilid po, which indicates ng status ng trend sa bawat goals. So if interested tayo na makita yung status ng bawat SDG, pwede po natin i-check yung link below. Next naman po is the type of globalization. So the first type of globalization is the economic globalization. So it connects the Philippines to global trade, investment, and markets. This boosts job creation, infrastructure development, and economic growth. And it can also create dependency on foreign investments and widen income inequality. For example, the remittances sent by overseas Filipino workers or OFWs, it is the result of economic globalization. These funds help many Filipino families but also highlight the reliance on global labor markets. Second is the cultural globalization. So it introduces global ideas, norms, and practices into local policies, promoting education, gender equality, and health initiatives. It also influences cultural attitudes towards sustainability. Like, for example, international campaigns like the UN's push for gender equality, which inspires local programs in the Philippines that improves women empowerment and promote inclusive workplaces. Third is the political globalization. So the Philippines' alignment with international governance frameworks like the United Nations 2030 Agenda, fostering policies that address global challenges through multilateral cooperation. Like, for example, the Philippines' commitment to the SDGs reflects its role in global political initiatives, which influencing national strategies to address poverty and climate change. Fourth is the technological globalization. It represents the exchange and integration of technology, essential for advancing healthcare, education, and infrastructure. However, it also exposes gaps in technological access, especially in rural areas. Like, for example, the rise of online learning platforms during the COVID-19 pandemic allowed students to continue their education, showcasing how global technology connects and supports local needs. Lastly is the environmental globalization, which highlights shared environmental challenges like climate change. It motivates the Philippines to adopt sustainable practices and participate in global environmental agreements. Like, for example, the Philippines' engagement in the Paris Agreement, which drives initiative to promote renewable energy and combat deforestation, addressing both local and global environmental concerns.
This is our key problems. First is persistent poverty and income inequality. Despite economic growth, significant disparities and income distribution leave large portion of the population trapped in poverty. It will limiting access to opportunities and resources. And next is environmental degradation and vulnerability to climate change. Unsustainable practices lead to deforestation, population, and loss of biodiversity, making communities more susceptible to climate related disasters like flood and sea. and rising sea levels. Number three is inadequate infrastructure and basic services. Inefficient investment and essential infrastructure such as roads, water, healthcare, and education systems hinders development and reduce quality of life, especially in rural and marginalized areas. And last is limited capacity for SDG implementation. Weak governance, inefficient funding, and lack of technical expertise challenge the ability to effectively implement the sustainable development goals and achieve the meaningful progress. For our major problems, we choose the limited capacity for SDG implementation because it's directly affect the country ability to achieve sustainable development across sectors. Weak governance, including poor institutional frameworks, corruption, and lack of political will, hinders an effective planning and execution of SDG related initiatives. And also, financial constraints further exacerbate the issue as many developing countries struggle to mobilize resources needed for large scale projects to address poverty, inequality, and environmental challenges. Additionally, the lack of technical expertise and access to advanced technology limits the ability to implement innovative and impactful solutions. The interconnected nature of the SDG means that slow progress in one area, such as education or infrastructure, create bottlenecks that delay advancement in others. So these challenges are compounded by external pressures like climate change, economic shocks, and debt burdens, making it even more difficult for countries with limited capacity to meet their SDG target. Without addressing these capacity gaps, efforts towards sustainable developments remain fragmented and inefficient, leaving critical global issues unresolved.